If golf is just a sports washing exercise, what do you make of that?
Well, we talked about that last year, and we already kind of kicked that to the curb.
Bryson DeChambeau, proud American and LIV golfer, spouts more nonsense for Saudi Arabia.
Something that I truthfully believe is completely inaccurate. People have their opinions and their perspectives on it, but we certainly don't feel that way. We're playing golf here.
As we have covered previously,
What's up, Trump Golf family?
DeChambeau is a big Trump supporter, cutting promos for the Trump Organization's website and YouTube channel. He FaceTimes with the proud supporter of white supremacy and the January 6th insurrection, and even celebrates tour wins with trust fund baby Eric Trump. So is it any shock he downplays Saudi's role in sports washing?
No issues, and I think that a lot of it's the media sometimes, not necessarily you guys. Australia's been fantastic, but sometimes that's just what it is, and I understand it. I think we all do, but at a certain point in time, we're still golfers. We still play great golf, and as you can see in the Masters, you had 3 of the 4 of the top LIV players.
No, not in the slightest. This follows previous quotes he made, but gives credence to DeChambeau's revisionist history.
But golf is a force for good, and I think as time goes on, hopefully people will see the good that they are doing and what they're trying to accomplish, rather than looking at the bad that's happened before. I think moving on from that is important, and going and continue to move forward in a positive light is something that could be a force for good for the future of the game. Looking forward is the most important thing we can do in regards to this game of golf.
He followed Phil Mickelson's rhetoric of golf is a game for good, which was quickly quashed by the British press, who asked Lefty the following.
You said something in a Sports Illustrated interview, and you just said it again this morning. What happened to Jamal Khashoggi is awful, but I've seen the game of golf, the good that the game of golf has done throughout history. No matter how successful this tournament could ever be, it can't counteract someone being murdered, can it?
And to that, Phil had no answer. It is no surprise at the Masters, Mickelson declined to speak to the press, seeing debacle after debacle when he has met the media. Human Rights Watch researcher Joby Shea called out DeChambeau and the LIV golfer. Saudi Arabia has experienced one of its worst periods for human rights in its modern history. Last year in March, we saw the largest single-day execution in recent history. 81 people were executed in Saudi Arabia in a single day. We really see LIV Golf as a major sports washing attempt by Saudi Arabia to cover up its egregious abuses. So what is the goal? First, because the PGA pulled its events from Trump properties in lieu of the January 6th insurrection.
Trump's golf craze is now in the news again, not because the former president was fudging his scores, but because he's cheating the very essence of the game. Unsurprisingly, he's teaming up with the Saudi-backed LIV Golf Tour. 2 LIV events will be hosted at Trump golf courses, starting with one next weekend at his Bedminster, New Jersey course, and one later this year at his course in Florida.
He found a close ally in Saudi Arabia, a country in the Middle East who Trump covered up Jamal Khashoggi's murder and, per many pundits, sold secrets for billions. Thus, this happened.
Mr. Kushner himself made at least 3 trips to Saudi Arabia just during Trump's first year in office. Saudi Arabia put $1 billion into a brand new investment fund created by Mr. Mnuchin. MBS gave this $2 billion to Jared Kushner's new investment venture,
which points to the deals Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, secured along with former Secretary of Treasury Steve Mnuchin. Even with the crowds being sparse, and at one point the Good Liars putting out a video how they showed they paid $1 to get into LIV Golf at a Trump property, it doesn't matter. All that matters is what Saudi Arabia put as a price tag for Donald Trump to host these events. It's whatever they view as that price point that they will pay out to Donald Trump and many of his properties as well. As for the players, Bryson, Brooks, Phil, they're all pawns. And to a degree, they know that because they left the PGA Tour to go to what could potentially be a defunct tour, albeit they're getting paid a ton of money. Bryson DeChambeau reportedly got paid over $100 million. Phil Mickelson got more. Brooks Koepka got a ton. And as far as we know it, aside from Phil's really solid performance at the Masters, they have been injured and or decaying over time. For DeChambeau, he is a man who has made anti-vaccine comments. He has plastered Donald Trump's logo on his golf bag. This is hardly a surprise that human rights abuses would mean fairly little as long as it comes in the form of dollars. It really just makes sense.